As a real estate agent, do you struggle with social media content? You all know what to post or where to post or when to post, and you're just feeling lost? Well, you're not alone. I've been there too, until I figured out this one trick that changed absolutely everything for me, and I want to share it with you here today. So back in 2021, I was having a pretty good year as a real estate agent and was probably honestly doing better than I've ever done before, but I knew I wanted so much more. And I knew that video and I knew that social media was going to be my way to get there. The problem is I'd been making videos for a little over a year at that point, and I had just never got a lot of traction. You know, whether it was Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, I just wasn't getting any traction, wasn't getting any views, and definitely was not getting any leads. So I knew I had to find a different way to do things. I just didn't know what that idea was, and it hit me one day when I was meeting with my real estate coach. And I've got those notes right here in this notebook, and it's great. And I still have one of these things that allows you to flip to that page. And he asked me a series of 4 questions, and I want to share those questions with you here today. 1, what do you want the most out of life? 2, what are 3 things you want to experience? What are 3 things that make you unique? And what are 3 improvements you want to do over the next 30 days? And this really got me thinking. I'd been doing a lot of video at that point, but, hadn't had a lot of success, really enjoyed doing it, really enjoyed being in the community, but nobody really knew me as an agent. I got most of my business from online leads, and I wanted to work with the people that I knew in the community. I just didn't know how to do it. So when he had me do this exercise, I then had to circle the one thing I wrote under each one of these questions, and I came up with this exact sentence. I will generate more leads using my personality to accomplish buying a beach house, and in doing so, accomplish a happy family. And after coming up that statement, I knew that was going to be my mantra, but how could I use my personality to generate more leads? And I knew the answer was video, so I had to ask myself a few questions. 1, who is my ideal client? 2, what do they care about? And 3, what do I need to make for them? So after I did a lot of thinking and spent a lot of time analyzing what I thought the answers to those questions were, I stumbled upon what is the strategy I'm going to share with you here today. I call this method the real estate content trifecta, and it positions you as a local expert, a inventory and housing expert, and somebody who loves and gives back to their community. And I developed this method in a way that was going to maximize my time and minimize the amount of effort that I was going to put forward. So I figured out how to do 1 trip in my car in less than 2 hours and get 3 videos out of it that were very hyper locally based. So the first part of this is a neighborhood tour video, and you want to select a neighborhood that is going to appeal to your ideal client. So select the neighborhood in the market that you work in, and here's what you're going to do. So after you pick the neighborhood you're going to highlight, you want to make sure you do your research and your due diligence to make sure you understand as much about that neighborhood as humanly possible, from the market to the amenities to the part of town that it's located in. Then you want to make sure you plan your day and your time to make sure the weather's going to cooperate with you when you're filming this outside neighborhood tour. And then you want to make sure you have all of your equipment 100% ready and all of your batteries charged. And for the ease of simplicity, all you really need is your phone and maybe a tripod or a gimbal. Then when it comes to filming the neighborhood video, you want to arrive in the neighborhood and you want to find something that has a great backdrop, pull out your phone, put it in vertical position, and you want to use this following pattern. You want to say, what is it? Where is it? What are the amenities? How much are the houses? And what's a great local spot nearby? So for example, you could do something just like this. Are you looking for an amazing neighborhood with great amenities in the heart of Wake Forest? Then I've got just the neighborhood for you. Welcome to Heritage. This neighborhood is located about 10 minutes from downtown Wake Forest and about 30 minutes from downtown Raleigh and 35 minutes from the airport, so it's very centrally located, yet just enough back from the city to give yourself more of that suburban feel. And the amenities in this neighborhood are absolutely amazing. They have a cabana, a pool house, a lazy river, a fishing pond, playgrounds, walking trails. The amenities are absolutely endless, so it's great for families young and old. Most of the homes in this neighborhood range from $500,000 to $800,000, but there is a small section of cottage homes at the very front of the neighborhood, which you can get into for around $400,000 to $450,000. And one of my favorite parts about the neighborhood is the coffee shop located right around the corner. Black and White Coffee. They're a world-renowned coffee shop, so if you live in this neighborhood, you're going to have access right to that spot. So if you're interested in learning more about this neighborhood, text the word HOME to, and this is where you insert your phone number. So now on to part 2 of the content trifecta. We just executed the community style video. Now here's the real key. We're going to do a home tour inside the neighborhood you just did the community tour in, so you're not having to switch locations. So that brings me back to this point. Make sure you plan appropriately. Look for a house that's located in a neighborhood and they're both appealing to your ideal client. Now, what if you don't have your own listing in that particular neighborhood? That's totally fine. Work with your team, work with your brokerage, work with your office. You can even work with other partner agents in your market, even if they're not affiliated with your brokerage. Just call them first and build a relationship, then go do a home tour in the neighborhood you're already in. So at this point, you might be asking, what type of home tour should I be doing? I don't have a professional videographer with me. Well, that doesn't matter. There's several different types of home tours you can pull off. There's one, what I call a hyperlapse tour, or you can do a clip tour, or you can do a voiceover combination of the other two. And here's how to do that. To do a hyperlapse tour of a home, what you want to do is put your phone in vertical position, then you're going to do an entire walkthrough of the house while you're recording video. And the magic happens in the edit. During the walkthrough while you're doing your editing, and I highly recommend CapCut, you can speed up your film to 10x or even more and only slow down the parts that show the major parts of the house, which would be the exterior, the kitchen, the primary family or living room, the master suite, and if there's anything cool in the backyard. Once you finish the editing, add some great music and bam, you have a great hyperlapse home tour. So besides the hyperlapse tour, you could also do the clip tour that I mentioned. The clip tour is where you're going to take between 2 and 4 second clips of some of the best features of the house that are going to be up close and tight. Make sure your phone is turned on to your 4K and 30 or 60 frames per second to make sure you get the highest quality possible. Now, if you want to take that video one step further, you can add a voiceover to it. So using something like CapCut again, you can film a voiceover while you're watching the video back on your phone, and it's going to allow you to have some context to the video itself, so you're actually showing it and treating it like a virtual showing for anybody that's watching the footage. If you want me to make tutorials or future videos on how to do that, make sure to drop it in the comments below. So far, we've executed a community tour, a neighborhood tour, and now we're going to do a local spotlight or a local business. Now, if you remember back to the community tour video, we mentioned a local business when we were actually doing that video, so we were doing a little foreshadowing or precursoring to the next video that's coming up. So now that you're going to highlight a local business or a local spot, and what I mean by a local spot, it could be a park, it could be a trail, it could be a landmark, anything that's going to be recognizable in the community, and hopefully it has a Google Business profile, and this is why. Because if it has a Google Business profile, you can take 5 to 10 photos when you're there, watermark them with your logo, upload those as a Google review, and make sure you type up a review for the business. So not only are you getting a video for your social media, you're leaving them a review on their business page and you're able to tag them on social media as well. It is a great local SEO strategy. Now you might be wondering how you pull off video for a local business or a local spot or something like that, and it's actually really simple. Do it just like the home tours. Either do a hyperlapse or do a clip montage. So in the hyperlapse, again, walk through the entire restaurant or the local spot or the park or whatever it is, and then speed that up in your editing to 10x or more, and you're going to have a great, fast-paced, perfect for social media highlight of that local spot. Or you could do the clip approach. Take 5 to 10, 2 to 4 second clips of some of the best parts of that business or the park, and then stitch that together in your editing, throw some music on there, and bam, and you can even narrate it and do the voiceover just like you did the home tour, and you've got some great local SEO content that you can share and tag the local businesses with to grow your local reach. One of the key things to remember in all of this to execute the community tour, the neighborhood tour, and the local spot is planning. Let's say every Friday you plan to go do this at 11 o'clock. You could go do the neighborhood tour between 11 and 12. You could do the house tour right about 12. And then you can go do the local spotlight, grab some lunch, and then boom, every Friday you have 2 hours blocked aside to execute all the content you need for the next week. And you can rinse and repeat this over and over and over. And think about this. If you did this every week for an entire year, you would have 52 home tours, 52 neighborhood tours, and you would highlight 52 local businesses or places where you become the absolute local expert. So if you remember earlier in the video, we said this was the strategy we used, and I told you guys that story about, what my coach told me to write down. And you're like, how does this apply? Well, in these videos, they can be kind of boring, frankly. So that's why you have to insert your personality into them. And how I inserted my personality when I pulled this method off was I skateboarded through the neighborhoods for my neighborhood tours. Yes, I got on my longboard skateboarded through the neighborhoods, and I'll let you know, within about 3 months, I was the talk of the town. Anywhere I went, people were like, hey, you're that guy that rides skateboards through neighborhoods. You're the real estate agent guy. And I was like, yeah, that's me. It was amazing. I was walking into grocery stores, my kids' school, and everybody knew who I was because I inserted my personality. And did that drive leads? Absolutely, it drove leads. So remember, I started this process in late September of 2021, and by December, I had 15 different clients in my pipeline, and that next year, because of everything I did the last half of 2021, I did about $500,000 in GCI in a market where the average price point is $450,000 to $500,000, which was an absolute amazing game changer for my family. And if you're wondering if we were able to buy that beach house, we absolutely were. I'm Will Draper, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.